I worked on The Bachelor like one day.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine said, "Hey, they're looking for PAs. You want to do it?" I'm like, "Man, I never worked for a Bachelor. I'll do it." And it was
Sure.
literally just a one day gig.
Yeah.
So we were at a warehouse. They were doing interviews and stuff, and that was pretty much the gig. So a few years after because the Bachelor's been going on for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So a few years after that, they came out with the Bachelorette, which is the girls that are trying to find live.
Okay.
So the newest season of the Bachelorette is already in the can. And all of a sudden it came out that this lady started hitting on her boyfriend and it's on video.
Ooh, all right.
They canceled the season.
What? Why?
Because she's pounding on her boyfriend and now she's trying to call victim. So I've got about 2 or 3 things. We're going to talk about the Bachelorette and I'm showing her beating up her boyfriend.
My initial reaction is, why would you cancel it? That'll bring more viewers. People want to look, that crazy woman's beating on the guys. I'll watch that just for fun. But let's see.
Would you? Okay, if you were, would you watch the Bachelorette because you know that she's a badass beating the shit out of people? Or
no, but I don't watch. Look, I'm going to sound so special, but I don't watch TV or movies. Modern. No, I wouldn't. But I'm interested to see what I think some people would. I like the Book of Mormon. Haha, it's clever.
This is called physical abuse. Yeah. Yeah. See, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do. Holy shit. I don't give a Let me go. Stop. Dude, leave me alone. Oh my God.
Through a chair, and her daughter is sitting on another chair at him.
Oh, holy shit. She could have hit the daughter with that.
Oh my This is called
And of course, the feminists are coming out saying that, well, he must have did something. She was just protecting herself. All I see is one person committing assault battery. I don't see anybody else doing that.
We've seen a couple of videos. I think way back when we first started, there was another one where this woman was pulling food out of the refrigerator and throwing it all over the place, and the kids were screaming and crying.
That was a while ago, yeah.
What is wrong with these women? He should have decked her, like Afro Man decked that girl on stage. You see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So he should have given her the Afro Man or called the police.
Of course, Harvey's got something to say. Let me remove it real quick because it's
he's a lawyer.
Yeah, but his organization at this point is nothing but a propaganda machine, as far as I'm concerned. Because every time Trump says anything, they're crying and whining about it on TMZ.
Mm-hmm. Yep, millionaires crying about Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you do at that point? There's only 2 options. You can call the cops, which is probably the good option, or you could just like RKO her ass across the.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Me being me, would never be in that situation. If that lady raised a hand to me, her ass would be on the fucking streets.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be anything. But I'll be damned if I am not going to hit a woman. You better not hit me, because that's going to be a fucking problem. Because number one, I was raised. You do not raise your hand to women. But if a woman is attacking me, I do have the right to defend myself, and I will knock that bitch out.
It's like, if you're going to act like a man, you're going to get treated like a man.
But I would never be in that position in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
For the grace of God.
I'm not trying to be a hard ass. I'm not trying to do all this other stuff.
I got you.
I have a right to defend myself. And if somebody's coming at me with chairs, that bitch can be on the ground.
Well, let's hear Harvey Levin's take.
I would never be in that position because I would not tolerate it.
Well, like I say,
even a hand raise, you know what I mean?
There, but for the grace of God, go you, as I would say.
Has canceled The Bachelorette, which is crazy when you think about it, that this show
I agree with that.
was supposed to premiere Sunday night, and it has been heavily promoted, even promoted during the Oscars. So what led to it is very clear. It was the video we posted this morning, Thursday, on TMZ, where you see Taylor attacking Dakota, putting him in a chokehold, throwing
Whoa.
three
Pause
bar
real quick,
stools
please,
at
please.
him, one of them ricocheting and hitting one of their.
What was the guy's name?
And she continues. She doesn't go over to the child to help the child. She continues going after Dakota. Now, this video is the basis of the criminal prosecution a few years ago where she pled guilty to aggravated assault. She is currently on probation for that. And the probation means she needs to keep her nose clean until this coming August. The problem is, 3 weeks ago, there was another incident, and Dakota has filed a protective order saying that she attacked him at her home and in a car. Now, she is saying it was the opposite, that he attacked her, but she's on probation, and they could try and violate her probation if they believe that she was the.
If you have a history of beating the shit out of your partner or getting into altercations, is that person going to be immediately believed? I wouldn't believe them. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I got a bitch to tell you.
So, well, I have two questions about this, though. So first of all, the guy's name was Dakota? That's the guy. That's his name.
The guy's name is Dakota.
Okay, I blame his parents for all of this to begin with. And I thought Bachelorette was like a girl who was available, and then like 10 guys or whatever, vie for their affection, correct?
That's what it's supposed to be. I worked on a show called Double Shot at Love with the Icky Twins for MTV. This was like 2009, 2010. One of the girls was gay. The other one was
married or something, engaged. Oh, okay.
But they were on a dating show, acting like they were available when the contestants had no shot.
All right. So I'm the idiot. Shocker. Reality TV is a work. Okay.
Oh, it's a complete work. Oh yeah. So you're not an idiot. It's just they play everybody.
Attacker, because that would be a violation of law. So as for ABC, they really could not withstand the tidal wave that came from this video, because even though people had talked about the incident on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, talking about it is one thing. Seeing it is a very different thing. And when you see it, it is simply hard to watch. And the idea of juxtaposing that video against somebody handing somebody a rose and sweetly romancing them just did not align for ABC.
I don't know. Would have done big numbers.
Pulling the plug in the show.
That's what I think.
Now, there is fallout here. And I am talking fallout in the many millions of dollars. We are told there is already a fight going on between ABC and Warner Brothers Discovery over who's to blame for this. Now, we have already reported that it seems that the producers who cast Taylor had a case of willful blindness.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me give you a little inside baseball. You guys ready? A little inside baseball?
Let's have it.
So I worked for three or four different reality shows that one of the ex-producers of The Bachelor, she had a company called 495 Productions that was gobbled up and sold to a bigger company. But so she would do these dating shows and all this stuff. Like I said, this was 2009, 2010. Everything that she knew, she got from The Bachelor. So when we would do these dating shows, we would go to a hotel. They would have the contestants go in there and do psychological tests, IQ tests, physical tests, mental tests. They would have these people do all of them. And and which ones do you think were picked?
The ones who either failed the IQ test or the ones who failed the tests, I would imagine.
Bingo.
Okay.
So for these people, for him to say that ABC and Discovery and all this other stuff is trying to like point the blame at each other, no, the producers knew exactly what the fuck they're doing. Period.
Yeah, but in the end, it was this girl and the girl is Taylor and the boy is Dakota. I'm just making sure I got this right.
Yes.
It was Taylor's fault.
Yes.
That's whose fault it is, not the producers.
What I'm saying is that they want good TV, so they want somebody that's not all there. So they willingly cast her, and they knew about it. It wasn't just secret.
That makes sense.
So it's like he's just. I don't know if Harvey's just willfully blind or if he's all about creating a narrative no matter what.
Well, he's double. Well, he's not dumb, but double screwed because he's a Hollywood guy, correct?
Yes.
And he's a lawyer.
Yes.
So that's like delusion after delusion. So whatever he says,
double delusion.
I discount. What I'm saying from the real world is nobody hates women more than women. Women would tune in to see this nasty, I don't want to say the word, woman.
Yeah.
And just hate on her week after week. Oh, that man seems nice. He don't need that woman. Doesn't he know that woman's no good?
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You should be a producer. You should be a producer.
I should. Put the shit on TV 24/7.
Because a lot of this was readily available. They may not have seen the video, but they knew about the incident, and it was pretty clear.
And like I said, they did mental tests, they did an IQ test, they had a psychiatrist walk in there, and they knew exactly what she was. Regardless if they didn't see the video, I guarantee they did, because the producers are surfing the internet to see if there's anything that could potentially they could either use to sell the show or that's going to bite them in the ass. They're looking at both. So they knew about it, and they willfully cashed that check. Is all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, they've just lost a lot of money by pulling the show off.
And it would not surprise me if the network tried to go after the production company and sued them, saying that you knew that she was psycho and you cast her anyway.
Well, but that would be a little disingenuous, wouldn't it? Because the networks know exactly what they're in for.
Yeah, but the networks is always CYA. They're always going to cover their ass.
Oh, I gotcha. All right. Okay.
It was easy to find that she had pled guilty to felony aggravated assault. So that certainly should have been a clue. And so there is a lot of finger pointing going on right now between ABC and Warner Brothers Discovery. So let's talk about some of the fallout. Number one, only one show, the show that was supposed to air Sunday night, is in the can. There are 3 other episodes in various forms of edit, but they're not completed. And then some of them have been basically untouched. They're going to have to fire a very big staff of post-production people because the plug has been pulled on the show.
That's a shame.
So there are other things, and this is one of the biggest, that ABC.
But that's the risk that you take.
Yeah.
For doing what they do in the entertainment industry and basically poking the bear. I mean, that's what reality television is you poke the bear. There is risk. So for automatically them to say, well, people are losing their job. Everybody knows going in that it's a risk. Why do you think that people work in reality television aren't part of the union? Because the union doesn't want to take the risk.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to LA in 2008, I worked on a couple reality shows like right off the get. One of my first ones I did was the Icky Twins, and then I did Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. That was one of the first ones that I'd worked on. But again, I got to work. The Gene Simmons of Kiss. I worked on a reality show that he was in with his family.
Awesome.
So it's like it was a great experience, and somebody like me who was 30, just fresh off the boat of Michigan, small town Michigan, I was just like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do it. But it's just like it doesn't count for union days. It doesn't count for any of that stuff. So it's like you know going in that there's a risk.
Well, plus that wasn't that the reason behind the genesis of reality TV is people are like, why are we paying all these high-priced actors and actresses when we can just put this slop out? People will watch this, and it's cheaper.
Yeah, that's one reason. The other reason is in 2008 when I moved to LA. I moved there on my dad's birthday, October 17, 2008. And the writer strike, the first writer strike was happening during that time. And what do you not have to pay when you're doing a reality show?
It makes sense. Writers, I would assume, or at least 24/7 writers, like full-time writers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
immediately that was the selling point is they didn't have to pay writers. They didn't have to pay writers. They didn't have to pay ADs, directors, cinematographers. All we have to do is just get our wacky cast and follow them around with a camera.
yeah, let them be wacky.
So if you ever stomach your, if you ever want, if you're just curious and you want to just stomach one episode of a reality show, it's basically going somewhere or arriving. Going somewhere or arriving home. Going somewhere or arriving home. That's the entire show. That's the premise. You're going and you're leaving and you're coming back.
I mean, I think what the last couple decades of TV has shown everybody is that there are far more entertaining people on YouTube than there are on TV. So that's what, like when the writers went on strike last time, I'm like, they could never write another show ever, and I wouldn't give a crap because I got tons of stuff to watch.
Yeah,
I don't need them.
Pretty much. But some of those long-lasting production companies and stations, I think they're way out of touch, and they're willfully ignorant because they cash those checks coming from like the prescription places and Pfizer and all this other stuff. Because every time you watch broadcast, every time you watch cable television, which I haven't had cable in forever, I just have the internet, and then I have a bunch of stuff that I watch.
Sure.
Every single time that there's a commercial on, it's about some sort of pill, some sort of this, some sort of take this, some sort of that, and it's like all they're doing is just collecting checks. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, that audience is dying out. They won't be around in 20 years, and then they'll be stuck with,
because those same people, part of them are not having kids, and then the other part of them are like, well, I have a family to support. It's like you going into it know that there's a risk. You don't want to admit that there's a risk because you want to be willfully ignorant. But we're all like that. We're all going to something willfully ignorant.
Okay, so they should have seen this. They should have not seen it coming, but not been surprised when this happened to the Bachelorette show. Okay.
There you go.
Has what they call trade outs on the show. That's when you'll see an airline or a hotel or some venue or brand where they're featured on the show. These brands, these companies pay big money for these trade outs. But what they get in return is FaceTime on the network. Well, now that the show has been shelved, they're not going to get that FaceTime. And
they're going to get that. They're going to want that money back.
Then ABC is going to have to either return the money or not get the money they were expecting. And that's going to be a huge, huge loss for ABC. A couple of other things. This show cost around $2 million an episode, and the whole show has been shot. So somebody is going to have to shoulder that, ABC or Warner Brothers Discovery. And they are
the big reality shows are like that. They're a couple millions an episode. I worked on a show. I'm trying to think what it was. It was something for MTV. The producer come up to me and said, "Hey, Derek, I need you to do a run. Can you go to the bank and deposit this money?" Like, okay. So I went in there, and it was a check that I deposited for like $250,000. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was basically the show's budget that he had me basically take to the bank and deposit it into the account of the business.
In my head, he just handed you a big sack of cash with a dollar sign on the side of the bag, like in the cartoons, and just went to the bank and
I just kind of looked at it like I'm never going to see this type of money ever in one lump sum. Yeah. Not unless I just write out a check and be like, I put it on my wall, like one day. No, they actually had money to cover that shit. But I'm just saying, is the entire thing was $250,000. That was cast, crew, catering, locations, the whole thing. Shooters, editors. I mean, the entire thing was $250,000.
That doesn't sound like much. I guess that's what happens when you don't have to pay like big time actors and actresses.
Yeah.
Who should have seen what either they didn't see or didn't want to see with Taylor? And finally, the person they get for The Bachelor is usually the top 4 contenders on The Bachelorette. We are told that producers already pretty much had an idea of who the top 2 contenders were going to be. A lot of it is based on audience reaction and popularity, but they had a pretty good idea of who they were going to be. Well, you pick people because they're famous as a result of being on The Bachelorette. But because these people have no visibility, they're no longer viable contenders to become The Bachelor. So now the producers have to start from scratch in casting The Bachelor. And either it's going to delay production, we're told.
No, that's going to be easy because they're going to pick some sort of football player or some sort of soccer player, somebody that people are like, oh, I like that guy. That guy's cool. Guaranteed.
Or they can make an episode out of this season in The Bachelor and have the Bachelors talk about, yeah, you know, we went through all this and it never aired. I don't know. You can make a lemonade out of lemons, I guess. Something. But to your point, you're right.
Because they like to pick The Bachelor based off of who the final people are for The Bachelorette and vice versa. But it's just like they can just pick a football player, or a baseball player to be The Bachelor, and people are immediately going to be like, "Oh, I'll watch that."
Afro Man's single. Apparently, he's got an ex-wife.
Afro Man could be the Bachelor.
Get him on the phone now. That'll get you ratings. Make him The Bachelor.
Or they're going to have to pick somebody who was on one of the past shows, and we're told that could be problematic for ratings. So all in all, they're
going to pick a baseball player or football player or somebody, and if they want to hit a national audience, they'll pick a soccer player. It's easier to pick a guy than it would to pick a girl.
It's called Corey Feldman up.
Call Corey Feldman up. He'll do it.
Yep. All right, I got to take 30 seconds.
For both ABC and Warner Brothers Discovery, the video was the linchpin, but long before the video, there was a casting call for The Bachelorette. And a lot of what we now see today could have been seen back then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. With all the tests, and they literally have these people go into a room and do a series of tests on them to make sure if they flip out, they're not going to kill anybody, or they don't pick the best and the brightest. So if somebody from Harvard comes and somebody that is from Yale comes but has a reputation, they're picking the guy that has a reputation because they want the drama. Because the network is always going to be like, we want more drama. It's like people are just kind of standing around. They're not being interesting. We want somebody to yell at each other. Why do you think that they have the hip hop wives of New York and the hip hop wives of Atlanta? Because the black ladies are. I mean, that's what the network wants. The network wants the drama and all that stuff. Okay, so of course she gets put on Good Morning America for being a complete psychopath. Of course she is.
Bachelorette journey, but first I want to give you the opportunity to respond to recent headlines about the alleged domestic violence incident with your ex-boyfriend. What do you want to share with us about this?
Honestly, it's been a heavy time to see the headlines, especially during this time of The Bachelorette being released, and it's supposed to be a really exciting time. I'm a person that
you fucked it up.
Always speak my truth, and that's what I'm known for. And so when the time is right, I will be. But right now, just trying to be in the present moment and focus on this. But the thing is my kids do come first. My kids come first, and so it's been like. Just a back.
Hold up! Wait a minute. The kids didn't come first on that one where the little baby got hit with a freaking chair.
Look how I'm laughing. What? The interviewer's like, "Well, you're alleged." I'm like, alleged. It was on the video. She's throwing chairs.
She's literally throwing chairs and all.
But it's okay because this crazy ass woman has to speak her truth, Derek. It's very important.
It's like the WWE or Jerry Springer, her throwing chairs and shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Derek, I'm looking 1 second, I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, she's a nutter. I have radar like that.
I like hot women, but she ain't all that.
She ain't not hot enough to be that crazy.
And to be here in the present moment, worrying about, home and headlines, it's been stressful, to be honest.
We did reach out to
the girl that was the newscaster was hotter than this girl.
Both the blondes on the Channel 19 news, because they're more my type. This girl is not my type at all. Plus, she's insane. Insane is my type. Brunette? No.
You said you like the insane ones.
I kind of do, but they have to be blonde.
Oh, okay.
did not for a statement. We did not get a response from him. Now we have reports that The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has paused production on the next season. I know there's a season on right now, and then season 5 was in production. Reports say it's paused. Is that true?
Honestly, I don't call the shots with production. So as of now, I have gotten word that it also has been paused, but I do not call those shots. So as far as I know,
I'm going to call my shot. They're going to let it blow over for a month or two and then continue with production.
Yeah, plus let me tell you something. Secrets of Mormon Housewives or whatever, that show's got traction. When I said earlier, I spent Thanksgiving with my family down in Tennessee at my daughter's house. And that's what they were all watching while I was watching football.
Really?
All my girls and my ex-wife, and they had never seen it before, and they started playing it at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and they just played a bunch of episodes. By the end, my daughters and my ex-wife were that bitch and this, that, and they were all into it. My son was yelling at the TV. I'm like, dude, why don't you come over and watch football, dude?
You know, simmer down.
Yeah, calm down there, Junior.
oh, it was, but I don't know for how long and why.
I know you're one of the executive producers on the show.
Yeah.
In name only.
Yeah, I got told that this year.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know, and I was like, "What does that mean?" You know, I was like, like, I think just because
that's a contractual thing that if somebody wants to be a producer, and get points, that's all in the contracts.
You can see that in the
name only.
In the modern day Star Trek shows like Academy and Discovery, the credits take like 10 minutes because there's like 20. Somebody counted it was 17 producers. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does it mean? I guess nothing if she's one.
Yeah. And I mean, some of your favorite shows are like that, where they'll have guest directors and one of the cast members will be directing an episode. Like that shit happens all the time.
Yep.
And of course, she doesn't have anything to do with production because she's just a producer in name and only. She's not doing. Yeah, she's not doing anything. She's not doing character work. She's not doing breakdowns. She's not writing down what everybody says so that like a transcript. She's not doing any of that shit.
So her agent probably demanded it during their negotiations. Well, yeah, she'll be part of it, but she's going to be producer. And then she just blew the whole thing up. Well, that was dumb.
We produce like our own, lives.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that necessarily what that means. Really.
And
I do like her
honesty. How do you envision your future on that show?
Hard to say now, right? Just because of everything going on. It's hard to see past this. I'm not going to lie. In this moment, it's just so heavy. And when your life is broadcasted out there in these headlines, it's like the end of the world. Right. That's what it feels like. I'm not going to lie.
The only thing I got to give her, she hasn't denied it and said it's a fake video.
No, that's true. That's true.
She's caught red-handed.
A pipe cleaner with
I
a
will
wig.
say I've been here before and I got through it and shared my story.
Before?
Yeah, last time I beat the shit out of somebody and threw chairs in the general direction of my daughter, I was on probation and I made it pretty far until I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, look at her eyes. It's just like the devil right there.
It's dude. I've looked in eyes like that. They're like black holes. You're like, oh Jesus. I didn't believe in hell before, but now I see where it is. It's right there.